Humanity has always dreamed big. We build colossal dams, sprawling cities, and bridges that touch the sky. But sometimes that grand ambition leads to an equally grand failure. Monuments to wasted money and broken dreams. These are the stories of the world's most useless megaprojects. Our first stop is Pyongyang, North Korea, and the Hotel of Doom. The Ryugyong Hotel, a colossal 105-story pyramid of glass and concrete, dominates the city's skyline like a silent, brooding overlord. Its story begins in the late 1980s, a period of intense rivalry between North and South Korea. Their answer was to be the Ryugyong, a project of almost unimaginable scale and ambition for such an isolated and economically challenged nation. It was to be the tallest hotel in the world. Its design called for over 3,000 guest rooms, 5 revolving restaurants at its pinnacle offering unparalleled views of the capital. Construction began in 1987 with a frantic pace driven by the goal of opening in 1989 for a major festival, but the project was plagued from the start by poor quality materials and flawed engineering methods, and a budget that was spiraling out of control. Then, in 1991, the Soviet Union, North Korea's primary benefactor, collapsed. The economic aid that had propped up the North Korean state evaporated almost overnight. Construction ground to a halt in 1992, leaving a monstrous concrete skeleton looming over Pyongyang. For over a decade it stood abandoned, its empty, windowless openings staring out like hollow eye sockets. Exposed to harsh winters and humid summers, its raw concrete slowly weathered and stained. Inside its cavernous, unfinished halls there was nothing but echoes and dust. In 2008, an Egyptian company, Orascom, was contracted to finish the exterior. The entire structure was clad in mirrored glass panels, at a cost of over $180 million. By night it became a dazzling spectacle. But the interior remained largely unfinished. In the years leading up to the 2008 financial crisis, Spain was riding a wave of unprecedented growth. Regional governments, flush with cash and eager to create legacies, embarked on a frenzy of infrastructure spending. Born of cheap credit and boundless optimism, the logic seemed simple. If you build it, the tourists and their money will come. Airports became status symbols. Pet projects for regional presidents, symbols of local pride. They were often built in baffling proximity to one another, sometimes serving towns with little tourist appeal. Some were constructed to serve speculative resorts that never materialized. Then, in 2008, the global financial crisis hit, and Spain's property bubble burst. The river of cheap credit dried up, construction ground to a halt. Pristine runways built to welcome jumbo jets sat empty under the hot Spanish sun. They were visited only by weeds and wandering wildlife. Gleaming terminals designed for millions became silent, echoing halls. The result was a surreal and costly collection of aeropuertos fantasma, ghost airports. Facilities like Ciudad Real Central Airport, which cost over €1 billion to build, opened in 2009, and closed in 2012 after failing to attract airlines. Huesca Pyrenees, built for ski resorts, often handled fewer than a dozen passengers a day. None better captures the blend of political hubris and financial folly than Castellón Costa Azahar Airport. It was the personal obsession of Carlos Fabra, the powerful president of Castellón province. It was built without a single airline contract, check-in desks remained wrapped in plastic for years. A 24-meter-high statue of the man himself greeted a terminal with no planes, a monument to vanity. Deep within the eerie Chernobyl exclusion zone stands one of the Cold War's most mysterious relics. This is the Duga Radar system, a gargantuan steel lattice stretching nearly 700 meters. It towers 150 meters into the sky. Known to Western intelligence as Steel Yard, it was so secret it did not appear on official maps. Beginning in 1976, amateur radio operators and aviators heard a sharp, repetitive tapping, broadcasting at 10 Hz. It was quickly nicknamed the Russian Woodpecker. Its purpose was ambitious, an over-the-horizon radar designed to detect ICBM launches across the curve of the planet. It represented the pinnacle of Soviet radar technology, born from the paranoid logic of mutually assured destruction. It consumed so much power it was built next to a nuclear plant. Its cost was estimated at twice that of Chernobyl itself. It required dedicated high-voltage supply, day and night. On April 26, 1986, the catastrophic explosion at Reactor 4 rendered the region uninhabitable. The site was evacuated in hours, The Duga Radar was contaminated with radioactive fallout. Top-secret installations were abandoned overnight. The Woodpecker fell silent forever. Today, the Duga Array is a rusting giant slowly being reclaimed by the forest. A multi-billion ruble shield against nuclear war was defeated by nuclear energy itself. It stands as a testament to the paranoia and expense of an era, enormous, noisy, and ultimately vulnerable to the very forces it sought to guard against. Separated by geography and ideology, these projects are united in fate as monuments to failure. They teach us that grand visions are fragile things, susceptible to the sudden tides of history. They are vulnerable to political change, like the fall of the Soviet Union that starved Ryugyong, to economic realities, as Spain discovered in 2008, and to unforeseen catastrophes, as the Duga Radar was undone by Chernobyl. There is a deep irony in these structures, built to project permanence, now symbols of fragility, and yet something awe-inspiring remains in the audacity of the attempt. They remind us that ambition must be tempered with realism, that vision requires more than will and publicity. Dream big, yes, but remember the Earth is littered with the magnificent and very expensive wreckage of dreams that flew too close to the sun. If you enjoyed this journey into secret histories, please consider subscribing to NeuroNexus Earth.